Hi, beautiful, gorgeous people, and welcome back to another episode of. It's not an episode. Welcome back to the channel. Well, I guess you could say it's another episode of Ruth talking about things, hoping they make sense. I always like to just say that. Anyways, I have missed you guys. It's been months, and I'm so happy to finally be back. I want to make this video as brief as possible. I want to make it informative. I want to make it make sense. So, without much ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, I am just gonna get into it. Okay, as you can see from the title, I'm gonna be talking about how I went from that to this, how my style evolved. We're gonna be doing a little bit of, we're gonna be talking about my style evolution. That's really what it is. All right, so when it comes to talking about my style and how I was dressing back then and how, I dress now, I think it's very important to start from the foundation. Why was I dressing like that? What was my past? Well, it's not my past, but okay, the style is my past. Okay, so I am a PK, which is an abbreviation for a pastor's kid. I'm a pastor's kid, and the reason I say this is because it's going to make sense as we go. So, if you know anything about pastors' children, you know that they are always in the limelight, and I think you can relate if you're a politician's kid, or no, I feel like politicians' kids have it easy. No, sorry, y'all can relate. Remove that. But yeah, as a pastor's kid, you are in the limelight. You are always being perceived, always worrying about, thinking about how you are being perceived by the people, by the congregation. You're always being just looked upon, how you dress, how you speak, how you conduct yourself, who you hang out with. Everything about you is being scrutinized, watched, and observed. So, of course, as a pastor's kid, of course, modesty comes in the play, but not just like, okay, be modest, like most people, most Christians. It's the kind of modesty that's a bit like, we have to be a bit, it's a bit more, so if modesty is like 5, we have to be like at 7 or 8, right? The expectation is too much, like, they expect more from us, let me just say it like that. So whether that was, oh, don't show your arms, or no, you're showing too much of your arms, just show half, or no, it needs to be below the knee, things like that, or like you can't be showing your chest, like it needs to be here, all those rules and stuff. Whether they were spoken or unspoken, you just knew that there was a way in which you had to dress. And back then, I'm still a big person, and I was a big person. And of course, with being a big person comes this shame, and that shame now leads you to cover up. You want to cover your arms. You want to cover your, I don't know, like you just don't want to show too much skin, even though you are modest, but you just want to cover up. So I think that was one of the main things that was leading how I was dressing back then. Now, on top of that, if you know anything about weight gain, it makes you look older than your age, and it definitely did. And because I felt like I looked older than my age, I probably did. I felt like it made sense to dress older than my age, right? And I also now started acting older than my age. It was a whole sequence. It made sense, I think. So that's why I was dressing the way I was dressing. I wasn't dressing like people my age. I wasn't dressing like your typical 16-year-old. I wasn't dressing like your typical 15, 14, 13-year-old. I always had a mature style. And the funny thing is, if you had met me then, I would still be standing 10 toes down being like, yeah, I felt like I felt like I was the it girl. I felt like my style was just like, I walked with such, I don't know, confidence, like every Sunday getting dressed up. I was like, in my head, I was the best dressed. And I always got compliments on my looks. I don't know if they were lying to me. Yeah, so then fast forward to now 3 years ago, so like 2023, I now left home. After leaving home, if you're raised in a somewhat strict family or a strict family, you know that as soon as you leave the home, as soon as you leave your house, as soon as you leave your parents' house, their shelter, things are going to start changing. The true you, the real you is going to emerge, okay? And one of the first things to change for me was my style. So my style started changing. Now, of course, when I was coming to uni, I didn't come with a lot of my clothes back home, right? Because in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to university. I felt like I didn't know how I had to dress. I was just going by what they were wearing in the movies. So back home, my dad had an issue with women wearing pants, trousers, jeans. As a woman, you're not supposed to be wearing men's clothing. So I never wore pants at home. I was always in skirts and dresses, right? So of course, coming here, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna wear some pants. I remember shopping with my mom, and I was shopping jeans and all those things. Anyway, come here. I now come to uni, and the clothes that I brought to wear, I started feeling uncomfortable in them. The jeans were skinny, the tops were like weirdly cropped and just fitted. Like everything started to feel uncomfortable. Like, when you just start feeling so uncomfortable and you're like, bro, something needs to change. And I was like, yeah, my style needs to change. So I now began asking myself, okay, what is my body type? What are body types? What are body types? And then I now discovered, okay, I have an upper body type. Now, the first step to changing your style or finding your style is discovering your body type. Go on the internet, go search the different body types. We have apple, rectangle, sorry, not rectangle, apple, it is rectangle. Yeah, apple, rectangle, triangle. I think there are a couple, I think there are 4 or 5. I don't know. You go do the research. I know I'm an apple body type. So once you discover what your body type is, I'm telling you guys, you have done 50% of the work. 50% of the work. So anyway, so I discovered my body type, and then I was like, okay, now cool. How do I dress for my body type? And on top of discovering my body type, I also now started paying attention, or like calling out the ways in which my body is, not from a place of insecurity, but just as a fact. Okay, so I have broad shoulders. How do I dress for someone that has broad shoulders? I have a bigger chest. How do I dress as someone that has a bigger chest? Things like that. So when I figured that out, I now started experimenting. I started, just picking a few pieces from my wardrobe and saying, okay, how do we dress this up? How do we style this up? And then I now discovered thrifting. Okay, I'm a proud thrifter. I know thrifting always gets a bad rep, understandably so, because everyone is like, why are you wearing people's clothes? Like, that was somebody's clothes, like, go get you some new clothes. I understand, I get it, but I think for me, thrifting has now become in some ways a hobby. I don't look at it like, oh, I'm going to shop for more clothes. Yes, but also I feel for you to be a good thrifter, like it's an acquired skill. It's really an acquired skill. Whenever I thrift, it just works my creative brain, because when you are thrifting, you cannot shop like you're shopping at Zara. You cannot shop like you're shopping at these, retail stores, because these are used clothes, right? And most of the time vintage. So you have to, one, know your style. If you do not have a sense of style, you have no business being at a thrift store. Okay, especially if you want to look stylish. Okay, if you just want to, okay, maybe like like you ain't got that much money and you just want to buy clothes, that's cool. But if you want to, style up thrifted clothes, you have to have a sense of style, and you have to know what your style is and how to go about it. Okay, so I started thrifting. I started looking at pieces, this, and I have to mention this, in addition to me figuring out my body type, I also started to understand the colors that work best on my skin. Now, this is a very important thing, because a lot of the times, yes, we focus on our body types, and that's, as I said, very important. That's like 50-60% of the work, but you also have to know what looks good in you. Glory be to God, as Black women, we look good in all colors, but it is individualistic, okay? So every person, or what do they call it? Skin tone. I think they're warm. There's warm, and then there is cool, okay? Yeah, skin tone. So go do the research. I think I'm warm. You need to know what your skin tone is. I think you guys have seen those videos online of people doing a color analysis. That issue is real. There are some colors that you will put on that will make you look darker, that will consume you. They will not make you to stand out. Okay, the priority when it comes to dressing up is to be the main character. If whatever you're wearing is not making you feel and look like the main character, why are you still putting it on? Because no matter how much you try, you cannot make you the main character. So you have to make your clothes work for you. Your clothes have to fit you well. They should be making you stand out, okay? Not swallowing you and hiding you. You should not be hidden, okay? And that's one reason why I said I'm never wearing an all black outfit. I did it once and I looked humongous. I don't know what it is. I love black to death, but I'm not doing an all black again. So you have to understand what colors work for you. For me, since I'm warm toned, colors like green, okay? Explore. I know we all love black, guys. I love black as well, but I think it was like 2 years ago, 2024, 2025, I started embracing other colors, and I was like, okay, I usually would not, you would never catch me wearing yellow. 4 years ago, you would never catch me wearing yellow. But I literally had an outfit where I wore a yellow skirt and I looked bomb. I looked amazing. I now love like greens. Greens are nice as well. Orange, mustard. You have to know these things. You have to know the colors that work for your skin tone. How I figure that out, because I am paying money to do a color analysis. You can upload your picture to ChatGPT and ask it these questions. What's my skin tone? You can ask it, what's your, are you warm toned? Are you cool toned? What colors would work best for your skin tone? I love blue. Thank God my favorite color works well for my skin tone. It makes my skin pop. Every time I wear blue, my skin is popping. I'm like, this cannot be the same girl with acne. Like, don't be playing with me. You have to know what colors work for you, and don't just stick to those colors. You can wear all colors, but also know what works for you, so that maybe like if you wanna step on necks, okay, you probably know what colors to go for. And yeah, also how to play with the colors. And then in accordance to that, I also obviously started looking for inspirations. At that time, I remember my first inspiration was a pastor's kid whose style is so unconventional. She lives in Nigeria, so you can imagine she's always getting the backlash from the aunties and uncles. You guys know Nigerians are judgmental. But she was my first inspiration because she's a PK, I'm a PK. Her style is unconventional. My style is also unconventional. And she rocks it. It's her, like it's her style, and she owns it, and I love that. Next on the list is Dahana. I love Dahana. I keep telling her, girl, I'm gonna come to your closet and I'm gonna raid your closet. Like, her clothes are amazing. 10 out of 10. And then 3, we have Johan and so many others. If you go to my Instagram is like a Pinterest board. I have the people that inspire me to dress better. Keyword is inspiration. We are not trying to look like people. We are trying to get inspiration to build our style. Okay, I'm not gonna look like anybody. I cannot look like anybody, and I do not want to look like anybody. I want to look like myself, hence why I have my name. So I think the issue we're seeing is now people are now getting inspirations and they're trying to look like those inspirations. No, if I see an inspiration, my first question is, what outfits do I have in my closet, and how can I maybe change things up? Okay, I see she did this. How can I add more layers to that? It's just an inspiration. You're not supposed to dress like these people. And anyway, so I think over time I realized that I want my style to have personality. I want my style to be like, that is so Ruth. Like, that is so Ruth. Like, when I walk in the room, you're like, yeah, that's Ruth. That's something Ruth would wear. I've had times where I posted photos of, some of the people that I like, maybe I liked their outfits or my inspirations, and my friends were like, oh, I thought that was you. And I just love that I don't think I've arrived, but I'm getting to a place where I'm giving my style a personality. Like, and I think the only way to get there is you have to know yourself. Guys, if you do not know and love yourself, you will try and be like the next person. And we don't want to have 10 girls looking the same. I want every single girl to look like themselves. Isn't that beautiful? That's what diversity really is. That's what individualism really is. So yes, have inspirations, get inspirations, but also know yourself, know what works for you, okay? What works for her is not going to work for me, but I do like that bag though. I do like how you styled that though. I would do it differently, and then do it differently. That's the point, right? So I think for me, it was about just giving my style personality and also doing things unconventionally. I've always been somebody that wants to just be unconventional. I want to just do things differently. I think for me, if you were to ask me what my goal is in terms of like my style and fashion, it's to get to the point, or to get to a point where I'm using my previous looks as my inspo. Do you know how big of a slay that is when you're using your previous looks, not somebody else's, but yours, because you ate that up. So when you want to now use your previous looks as your inspiration for your next looks, I do that all the time, and it's just an amazing experience, just dressing how you want. I feel like your style should be an expression of your personality. I should be able to look at you and say, okay, that's the kind of girl she is. I love it when I see girls that are expressive in their styles, the emo girls, the goth girls, even though I would never dress like that, but I love it because I'm like, that's who you are, and that just tells me like maybe 20% of who you are, and that's amazing. Like, that's what I think style should be about, showing us and showing even yourself, this is who I am, and I love that. And further down the line, towards the end of 2024, I finally found a name for my style, and I named it Modest Eccentric. Modest for modesty. I am a Christian, I am a believer, and my body is the temple of the Lord. So yes, I will dress I will dress with reverence to the Lord, with reverence for the Lord, but also I'm just comfortable when I'm modest. I think I always say, like, even if I was not a Christian, I would not be out here with my butt cheeks. I would not be out here with my boobs out, and I just feel like modesty is comfortable, and why not be modest? And then eccentric is expressive, eccentric is colorful. I love colors now. I love colors. Like, give me the colors. I just love playing with them, playing with the different colors, playing with the different layers, and I get to see how my mind works. I just love it. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys some examples of some of the outfits I have worn in the past maybe year or months, and just like kind of walk you guys through the process of how I put these outfits together. So this particular one is a green turtleneck, and I love layering. That's one of the things you're always going to see me do. I never wear something as it is. I'm like, okay, what can I add to it? What can I add to it? What can I add to it? What can I, I'm always trying to add something. So this was, I think, it was colder around this time. So I just got this green turtleneck. I remember telling you guys I look amazing in green. So I got this green turtleneck, and I have this black undershirt that I was wearing with this skirt that I thrifted. I love it so much. It has a very nice asymmetric style towards the bottom, with some nice artistry as well. And then I just paired it with black pants under. Then this one is what I wore to a birthday party, just very laid back. I just did like warm tones. I went for brown, black, and tan. Amazing as well. I also love wearing my glasses, by the way. They really add to my look and my personality. Like, my personality even goes down to what glasses I wear. It goes down to what nails I do. I know that there are nails that speak more to my personality and they speak more to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Then this look, I wore this look, I think it was 2024. This was just an all black look, but I remember telling you guys I don't do all black anymore. I'm going to add some color. So I decided to add again the green turtleneck on the inside. And then I had this green scarf that I had from one of my boo-boos. Boo-boos are like Nigerian or African, like big dresses. So this scarf came with that dress. So I kind of like wrapped it around my neck, around my waist, and just added some gold jewelry. And it was a look. I loved it, with a nice hat. Then this is also another green attire. So this one, it's like a big oversized kind of like blouse. Someone would wear it as a shirt dress, but I was like, okay, how do I wear this without it looking like it's swallowing me? And honestly, the game changer here was the belt. The way belts are in like 50% of my outfits, I do not play about my belts, guys. For my body type, belts have been literally an essential accessory in my closet. I do not play about my belts. So over here, I just kind of like use the belt to kind of raise the top, the blouse a little bit, wear my tan skirt, which I thrifted. The tan skirt looks amazing, by the way. The photo doesn't really show it, but they're like nice, ripples by the side. And then I just put some gold jewelry. I love gold jewelry. You're never going to see me in silver. And then I paired it with my green glasses as well. And then this look, one of my best looks, I love blue, as I mentioned. So this was just like an all blue kind of look. I did my blue jeans, my blue heels. I did this blue dress that I thrifted. Love it. And I paired it with a blue shirt underneath and my tote bag with a beret on top. And then this was one of my, I think this was my most, and this is still my most audacious look. It took me a while to put this together. I wore this on a Sunday. Most of these looks were worn on Sunday. I put this together in about 4 or 5 hours. I was racking my brain Saturday evening, and I was like, how am I gonna make this work without it looking too weird? Like, because I think when it comes to me styling my clothes, my criteria is, okay, yes, it has to look unconventional, but also it also has to look like how I want it to look. I don't really care about people's opinions. Yes, people question, why do you wear pants under skirts? I've had people come to my face and say, I don't get your style. I don't get why you think I would want your opinion. Okay. And honestly, yeah, I feel like with this style, it's just about knowing yourself. And when you know yourself, you don't care what other people have to say or what other people have to think. So it took me a while to put this together. And my aim was to go for something to just work with layers. So I have a skirt underneath there here we're seeing different textures, different layers. And honestly, I love this. I would wear this again. It's really good. I don't repeat outfits. I like to change things up, but this is amazing. So we have black. Then again, I told you guys I ain't doing black on black. So I wanted to add something with color. So I said, okay, I have a striped skirt. Let's add that. So I have a black, then black, white striped skirt. The second skirt has like a nice, symmetric look as well. We love asymmetric, clothings over here. And then I now put this nice blouse that's longer at the back but shorter at the front. Use the belt to kind of snug it up a bit, and then I put my undershirt in right under the blouse, and then I wore like a nice headpiece. This was when I still had my locks. Amazing. And then last but not least is this look that I wore last year, May. This is when I just cut my hair and I put this I think orange color on my hair. So this is again another all blue look. I just wore this nice blue blouse that has been in most of my pictures. Then I paired it with this see-through, very light skirt that I got from the thrift store I think last year, and then I paired it with my jeans, and I wore it with my white and blue tote bag, and I wore it with my blue shoes. So that is basically most or a few of my looks, just to walk you guys through how I style these looks. And I hope this video has been somewhat informative, helpful, inspiring, especially to my big girls. I know, we say things like, oh, I'm going to dress better when I lose weight, or I'm going to find my style when I lose weight. I was in that space for so long, but like, you're not going to lose weight in a day. You might as well enjoy the process, and you might as well just look good while you're at it. Because when you look back 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to want to see that you tried to look good even while you were not skinny, and even while you had not lost weight. You still deserve to look good and feel good. And I cannot ever explain the immense confidence that just emerges from you when you look good, because when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, that's what you need to do. Nobody can tell you nothing. So that brings us to the end of this video, and I'm so excited that you guys clicked on this video to watch it, and I hope I'll see you guys in my next videos. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.